Today we are going to be going to Jimbaran with one of the Aussie families that Steven has made friends with, and we're gonna go to like the fish market area. I'm looking forward to that, although I really hope I don't end up feeling sick again. Like, I'm really sick of being sick. I just want to be able to eat normal food, because lately all I've been really drinking is this Pocari Sweat, and last night I had some California roll, but I had like half of one California roll, which is like nothing. 4 rolls, or 4 little slices. That stayed down. I just can't eat a lot, like at all. Otherwise I start feeling sick again. So I'm feeling hungry this morning, so I would like to eat something, but this kind of happened yesterday as well, where I ate those plantains and I felt fine, but as the day went on I kind of just felt less and less like eating. And I think also, like, walking around Uluwatu since I was weak, I think that may have also been part of the reason why I wasn't feeling well, because there was a lot of walking around in the temple, and I think the mixture of like walking around, not being able to eat a ton, the humidity, and just feeling weak in general, I think that's what made me feel sick again, because I did sort of feel like throwing up, but I didn't feel like throwing up like I did days before, or the day before. Like, that was just really, really bad. So I don't know how much footage of Jimbaran I'll actually get, because we'll be with a family with children. I don't feel comfortable putting children in my videos, just because they are minors, and they're not my children, and so I don't feel comfortable putting other people's children in my videos. It is currently pouring rain right now. Pouring. So much for me getting super dark on this trip, because so far it's been gloomy every day. And it's been raining every day. And it's supposed to be pretty crappy weather until I leave. In fact, it's supposed to be gloomy until Wednesday. And then it's supposed to be windy until we leave. Great.
So bright, I don't wanna lose that somebody. I don't wanna lose somebody, somebody, somebody. I don't wanna lose
A boat dock, and we are going to go on a boat to Nusa Lembongan. I don't remember how to say it, but we're going to another island of Bali, and we're going to stay there for 2 nights. And I'm pretty sure I just saw some lightning. But anyway, so we're going to go there for 2 nights, and we got to take a boat, which is going to take about 30 minutes, and then we'll see what we can do there. after the boat ride, I didn't vlog because some crazy stuff happened. So we got to the island, we checked in, and then we kind of scooted around to find like certain surf spots for Steven. I mean, there wasn't really much going on that day anyway, so it would have been pointless for me to vlog. But anyway, on the way back from checking out some surf, it was around dinner time, and so we were heading back to go back to our hotel to have some dinner. And on our way back in Nusa Lembongan, there were streets that were super narrow, and so when we were headed back, there was a car coming our way, so we had to scoot to the left as far as possible. And when Steven did that, he had to move up a bit so that the car could completely pass, and then, you know, for us to move on and get back to our hotel. And when he did that, there were some parked scooters, and my foot caught one of the scooter like mud flap things. Let me show you my from this toe. So the scooter mud flap went between my toes and cut up my leg, like, or up my foot to like the middle of my foot. So then I started screaming. I started saying, my foot, stop, it's bleeding, it's bleeding, it's bleeding. And then Steven pulled over and he thought it was just like no big deal because he didn't feel anything. Like nothing scratched him or anything. And so when he scooted up, he thought like, he turned around to see like, what are you screaming about? And then he looked down when I was saying, my foot, it's bleeding, it's bleeding. And it was so bloody. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I said there was blood everywhere. Like there was blood on my other leg, even though my other leg wasn't bleeding. It was just that bloody. So then I can't stand blood, so I started freaking out and panicking. And these guys who were behind us, they ended up helping us get to the hospital. Well, first they were there, like they said stop, and so that's when we stopped, and I said I'm bleeding. And then they helped me get on the bike again, but I was like freaking the F out. And I kept saying, I'm gonna faint, I'm about to faint, I'm gonna faint, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna pass out. And Steven kept saying like, don't pass out, you'll be fine, it's okay. We just need to get you to the hospital. And so then we asked the guys like, do you know where the hospital is? And the guy said, yes, follow us. So then I kept saying, I'm gonna pass out, because really, I've passed out so many times that I know the feeling that I get before I pass out. So I kept saying, I'm gonna pass out. And then he said, just get on the bike and we'll get to the hospital. Don't pass out. And so I get on the bike and the scooter. And the second I got on the scooter, I went limp and completely passed out. Then the guys who were helping us, one guy sat in front and one guy sat behind to hold me up. And then Steven followed on their scooter, followed us to the hospital. And then the guy that was driving ended up carrying me in onto the hospital bed. But I was out for so long, like not just a couple of quick seconds, like long enough to where I have no memory of us driving off, because I went limp after Steven had started driving off. So I have no memory. All I have is memory of me getting back on the scooter. And then I woke up and Steven was no longer in front of me and some dude was behind me. So I have no recollection of Steven getting up and going to the other scooter and this guy getting onto our scooter instead. Zero recollection. And I don't even remember us like taking off. Like I don't remember this guy driving off after he got on the bike as well. When I came to, we were already moving and had been moving for a while because the hospital was like 3 minutes away, and I woke up maybe like a minute and a half into it because we were not on that bike for much longer when we actually got to the hospital. So then I ended up getting 14 stitches. The first one, I actually felt them like dig that needle in, and the last one as well, which was so incredibly painful. And so was the not Novocaine. that's for your teeth. The whatever it is to numb you up, that burned like hell, and then they had to suture me up, but like the front end of the gash and the bottom end of the gash were not numb, so when she went and sutured me up, I could feel it and it hurt really effing bad. Like, holy crap. Basically, like, imagine a thick fish hook purposely going through your skin twice. Because they had to go, actually no, it had to go through the top and out, and then through the other side and out, and then they could dye it. Oh god, it was so painful. And the guy who helped us, the main guy, he was 26, and he was saying how, he got a little emotional, and we said, oh, it's okay, and then he said, he said his wife died, and like 2 years ago, and she died, I'm assuming, because I asked him, but he was too emotional to talk about it. I asked him how she died, and he said he tried, but he just couldn't, it just made him cry too much. But I'm assuming she probably died of a scooter accident, because that's very common around here. I just couldn't thank him enough for helping us get to the hospital, and he stayed there. Him and his friend stayed there the entire time and held my hand the entire time. And I was so thankful, because I was panicked, so panicked, and I just wanted someone on both hands to hold my hand. I had Steven on one hand and the other guy holding my other hand. It was the worst experience. The last time I went to Costa Rica, so the last time I went out of the country into like a tropical place like this, I was injured as well. I fell off of a four-wheeler and like slammed my head on the ground with the helmet, thank goodness. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, right there is a scar from when I landed and skid on the dirt in Costa Rica when I was like, I want to say 14, maybe 14 or 15. And yeah, so, and also on my left side. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just not meant to go to like third world countries and explore them, because I just get hurt. So far, I'm 2 for 2 with the third world tropical places. I have to leave my stitches on for 2 weeks, so I get them off on our anniversary. At least I get them off. I have to use crutches, so that's super fun. This trip is basically turning out to be another trip from hell. Costa Rica was a trip from hell. That was a long time ago, but this is proving to also be the same. But I'm hoping that it turns out all right, like nothing gets ruined. But who knows. It's kind of hard to get around on crutches here in Bali, because everything is like, you know, there aren't straight, smooth roads or sidewalks, so that's kind of hard. My foot freaking hurts. The pain of a scale of 1 to 10, most of the time it's like at a 5, but every once in a while it'll spike to like a 7 or 8, because it's just like blood rushing to my foot, and then it'll like pulsate and burn. Ugh. And then it'll have twinges of like really painful moments. Oh, that's another thing. So we left Nusa Lembongan today. So we were supposed to be there last night and tonight, and then leave tomorrow morning, but we ended up, with all this happening, we ended up leaving this morning on like the second boat and came back to Bali. From the dock, we went straight to BIMC, which is Bali International Medical Center, and we just wanted them to look at my stitches, because when we were at the Nusa Lembongan hospital, they were using an iPhone light as their source of light to make sure that they were doing everything well. Like, it wasn't dark in the hospital, but it wasn't bright enough for them to make sure that they were stitching the right areas. You know what I'm saying? So they had to use a iPhone light for that. And so then we wanted to come back just to have it like cleaned and looked at properly from a Western medicine facility. And so they looked at it, they said everything was done really well. So my stitches are fine. There's no sign of an infection, and they gave us all the things that we need to keep it clean for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, woohoo! So that means I cannot go into the pool and I cannot go into the ocean. Great. Which is like the whole reason why I'm here. But I can at least hang out by the pool and I can hang out on the beach, and we have made friends with Aussies who has an Aussie family, and so I'm pretty sure like whenever they go to the beach I can just hang out with them. Here is my outfit for today. So cute. I've got this crop top and I've got these runner pants that are Stevens, so I kind of look ridiculous. Kind of looks like I have some junk in my area. And then there is my foot just wrapped up. So that is why I did not vlog yesterday, and that is also why I don't really have anything today, and pretty much tomorrow is going to be boring as well. I'm just going to be hanging out by the pool, so I don't think I'm going to really, I might document a little bit of that, but it'll go into a different vlog. Ow, my foot is killing me right now. Oh God. Anyway, that is it for today. I am signing off and resting.